Hello, 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 my friends in the internet lands. Welcome to You've Got a Thing, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things. We are back. I say we. Yeah, I can say we. We as in the whole organization. We are back. It's September. It's time to get seasons rolling again. You know, there was things here and there with companies that happen over the summertime, like Optimus Theater, like Summit Players. So there's some things that you can do over the summer, but the bulk of the Milwaukee Theatre Alliance companies does their work from in that school year type range where it's September to May. And so we are back, and we are back with You've Got a Thing. Season 4, episode 1. We are in it. We are here to make things happen. My name is Jaimelyn Gray. I am the person who decided to start this crazy train because that's what I do. And I have some things for you to learn about, and then we have a great interview for you today with Vanguard Milwaukee, which is an independent company here, an independent theater company here in Milwaukee that produces really quite a range of work, but mostly they focus on sort of socially relevant projects, and they'll talk more about that. George Lorimer, who's the founder of that company, will talk a little bit more about that. And he brought Matt Daniels along, who is the director of their current production of Lungs by Duncan MacMillian, and that's a really great show, and I'm very excited to share that interview with you. But first, I would like to go through what else we have happening within the atmosphere of Milwaukee theater from Milwaukee Theatre Alliance companies, and what we have going on this weekend. We've got some openings, we've got a closing, we've got improv and musical showcase and all kinds of wonderful things. I will do my best. I'm a little rusty, I have to admit. I have not done this. I have not touched this production stuff since May. We might have gone into June last. I just don't remember, you guys. And you know why? Because I had a very I hate using the word chaos so often, but my mother was diagnosed with lung cancer at the end of June, and so I've been running up to my hometown a bit to help with caregiving for her as she went through treatment for that illness. And a lot of people's lives have been touched by cancer, and a lot of people's lives have been touched by lung cancer. So if you are one of those people out there, my heart goes out to you, because it's a real struggle to take care of that illness. And so, yeah, my heart goes out to you. So that's the bulk of what I was spending my mind on this summer. She, for those of you who are interested, she's still sort of going through treatment right now. She's got, a bit to go and a long road before she can be declared, free of that illness. And so that's what I've been doing. So now I'm getting back to now that her the bulk of her treatments have waned, and getting back to sort of, the work of things that I do, and which includes this. And so let's just make a hard right. And is that right? No, that's left. Right? You guys, what is wrong with me? Anyway, okay, so let's do just a turn around and go back to the other company events, other than the interview that we have today, for what we have going on this weekend in the Milwaukee Theatre Alliance. So first, we've got here the Brick House, which is a venue on the north side of Milwaukee on Center Street. Really nice space. I'm trying hard not to say cute, but I can't help myself. It's just a really cute space. And they are hosting All In Productions, which is a company here in Milwaukee. This is actually their first production since 2019. They took a bit of a break and are now back and going to produce a story of a local playwright called Embers by Tim, and I'm going to say his name wrong, so I'm just not even going to try, but it's Backes. Directed by Erica Case. And the gist behind this production is 7 friends gather for a bonfire 4 years after their high school graduation. Most have returned from college, one never left. And so as the evening progresses, what was intended to be a nostalgic reunion turns into a fraught affair where secrets are revealed and interpersonal tensions come to a head. All in all, each one must confront the changes in the dynamics of their friendships. Many of us have lived through similar situations. And so if you want to go and learn more about this play from All In Productions at the Brick House, you can go to, it's allin, ALLIN-MKE.com. And that's the place where you can go for tickets and more information about Embers. And that is closing this weekend. So, if you're planning your calendar of which you're going to go and see this weekend, this one closes this weekend. So that is the heads up on that for you. Good. Okay. So then next we have Sanctuary City, also by a playwright that I should learn names before I talk to you guys. But I do believe it's Polish, and so I don't know if she goes by like traditional Polish naming pronunciations or if it's been Americanized, and I just don't know. But it looks like Martyna Majak to me, but that's Martynamaj. Okay. Sanctuary City, and it's directed by Jake Penner. I've floated an idea out to AJ over at Next Act about maybe starting a little program about like doing mini interviews with people and calling it "You Got Mini." I don't know, but we'll see if we can make that happen. So. This is actually starting previews, or it started previews, and there's one preview left tonight, and then they officially open tomorrow, Friday, the 19th, is the gist of what I understand for that. And so the story goes in a post 9/11 Newark, New Jersey, two teenagers that were brought to America as children now face an impossible question. What are they willing to risk for a future in the only country they've ever known? And it only has 3 actors in this production in total, and from what I've seen from production photos, it's a really bare set and should be a very, very cool and intimate experience. So I'm very excited to see that as well. If follow social media and whatever, if I can get this You've Got a Thing mini thing to get rolling, I think it would be super fun. But to get more information and tickets for this show, you're going to want to go to nextact.org on that one. Again, that's Sanctuary City, and that is opening tomorrow. at the Next Act space. Yeah. So there you go. Check that out. Cool. Let's then go to our next thing on the list. We've got Old Wicked Songs by John Marans. Also probably not the way that you pronounce that. Just saying. It's Marans. And this is directed by Elise Edelman. And we've got on the calendar, I did something different this year. I actually put out a call to people to sign up for You've Got a Thing episodes so that we can actually plan a little bit better. I'm getting better at this, you guys. It's 4 seasons in. I should probably try to get better at this by now. So we've got Milwaukee Chamber Theater coming up here next week to talk about this Old Wicked Songs. But the gist of this, it was a 1996 Pulitzer Prize finalist. Woo! The story is a burnt out American prodigy, Stephen Hoffman, arrives in 1986 Vienna, desperate to reignite his concert pianist's passion. Instead, he finds himself assigned to a not so nice person for beginner's lessons in basic accompaniment and singing. And it all sort of becomes a bond between student and teacher. And it's a powerful reckoning with identity, memory, and the possibility of hope as the story goes. And so if you would like to learn more about this is opening this weekend as well. So like I said, we have it on the calendar that somebody from Chamber Theater, possibly Elise, that would be super nice. She's an awesome human, to get somebody here to talk about this production and this show. So if you want more information about that, you're going to want to go to MilwaukeeChamberTheater.org. And that's a theater with a TRE, the theatre, to get more information about that production. And they'll lead you to tickets at the Broadway Theater Center there, which is where Chamber Theater they do the bulk of their work in the studio theater. But I do think they're doing Raisin in the Sun in the big old Cabot space this year is I think the intel on that. And so yeah, if you want to go and see that opens this weekend and run for a few weeks there, and then we'll talk to somebody next week about that. Great. So the next thing we have here, Capita Productions. Capita, a wonderful organization. Capita stands for City at Peace in the Arts. Just a great organization that uses art and singing and theater as a tool for creating positive emotions and positive experiences here in Milwaukee. They are having a talent search for the We Are the Drum crew is having a talent search. They use this, I guess, to find people for future productions. They have a wonderful ensemble of people that sing just amazingly beautifully. And so they're doing this talent search next week, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th at Marshall High School, to find new awesome singers. They're really invested in finding new talent. You do not have to have any experience at all. If this is they really consider themselves a gateway organization where, people with limited access to experience are able to come and start flourishing in the arts. And so you can go to capitaproductions.com for more information about that and how to get tickets and enjoy that show. Capitaproductions.com to find more about their talent search. That's awesome. I love the people over there at Capita. I think they're just amazing human beings. And so there you go. So then we also have the improv behemoth that is Interchange Theater, with a TER theater. Have shows coming up this weekend, as they always do. They also have their open jam, open mic tonight, where you can go and put your talents on the stage and be funny and awesome and all those things. So they have 2 shows coming up here on Friday and Saturday night. They have Quest and then there's an exclamation point and a question mark, featuring Channel Surfin' tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. They have Dungeons and Dragons inspired improv, which sounds super nerdy and fun. They will create an epic quest on the spot, filled with questionable heroes, absurd villains, and plot twists no one saw coming, not even them. Haha. And then as far as Channel Surfin' is concerned, can't decide what to watch on TV, neither can they. Channel Surfin' is an improv that'll take you back to the 90s daytime television lineup, because we are all nostalgic for that at this point, are we not? And so they've got that on Friday. And then on Saturday, Short Stack, which puts up 4 2-person improv teams. And the variety will certainly tickle your comedy taste buds. And you can go to the website to find out more about the teams that are doing that improv on Saturday, the Short Stack improv. And so for more information about Interchange Theater, you can go to interchangetheater.com, and you actually, if you just do interchangetheater.com/shows, it'll take you right to all the intel that you need to know. That is the easiest slash on the list, interchangetheater.com/shows. Otherwise it's like /this/this/this. I do that myself on our Constructivist website. It's like 12 slashes before you actually get to the thing that you want. But supposedly it's good for internet results. I don't know. I think it's all lies. So there's that, interchangetheater.com to go and get your improv on. And again, they have open mic tonight that you can also look into to have your fill. Great, good. Okay, so then we're gonna switch gears and just talk a little bit about. I like to do these the monthly observations, just because there's so much good happening in this world to focus on. The good things that people are doing, I think, is something that we all need to do sometimes. There's so much bad and challenging things on the internet that we see daily, that sometimes it's just good to focus on the good things. So one of the good things happening this month is that it's Hispanic Heritage Month, National Hispanic Heritage Month. And that goes from September 15th to October 15th. And the Hispanic Heritage Month is not only a time for those of Hispanic and Latino descent to celebrate their cultural roots, but also an occasion for people from all backgrounds to learn and appreciate and celebrate the rich tapestry of Hispanic and Latino cultures. And throughout our history, those communities have left really an indelible mark on the fields of art, music, science, literature, politics, education, and countless other domains. And their legacy is not only a source of pride for those who share that heritage, but also a source of inspiration for all of us who recognize the power of diversity in shaping our shared humanity. I got that information from the National Education Association at NEA.org. And you can also go there to find out more information about National Hispanic Heritage Month. I encourage you to do so. I think what they're putting forward and saying about it is lovely and so worth it. And so go check it out, right? The other thing that we have this month, not such a bright spot, but it's good to talk about it. Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. It's just a reminder for all of us to look out for each other, right? Each September, Suicide Prevention Month is a time to raise awareness, spread hope, and spark meaningful action to one of the most urgent mental health issues of our time. Let's try to ensure that our friends and families and individuals have access to the tools and resources and support they need to talk openly about suicide prevention and recognize warning signs and seek help. Because with one conversation, asking someone how they're really doing, or and being able to truly listen can actually save lives. No one has to face this alone. Help does exist. Healing is possible. And all it sometimes takes is for one person to start a conversation. And so you can go to, I got that language from NAMI.org, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So that's NAMI.org. And if you're watching this on video, it's scrolling there across your screen. NAMI.org. And if you happen to be in a crisis right now, and you need to talk to somebody right now, there's a suicide and crisis lifeline. It's available 24/7. You can call or text 988 to reach that lifeline. I think we all in one way or another have been touched by suicide. And so I think it is a really good idea to just have an awareness of your people around you, and NAMI.org does have resources on how to recognize people in crisis. And so I think that's a good thing to do. That's a positive thing to do. Yes? Good. That's what we have happening this coming weekend and this month, but also what we have coming up this weekend is, in fact, Vanguard Milwaukee's production of Lungs by Duncan MacMillian. And so let's get into that interview right now. And I really hope you enjoy it. And that's with George Lorimer and the wonderful, wonderful Matt Daniels. And here you go. Well, hello, you two. Thank you so much for making time for You've Got a Thing today, Mr. Lorimer, Mr. Daniels. Thank you so much. This is the first episode of season 4. You guys, get the first go of the fresh new season. Way to go!
It's the most exciting thing.
I know, isn't it? It is most exciting. Super. Well, can we just introduce ourselves a little bit here, George? Can we start with you, founder and head guy there at Vanguard?
Yes. Hi. My name is George Lorimer. I'm a Milwaukee-based actor and producer. I'm the founder and managing artistic director of Vanguard Milwaukee, and I'm in the cast of Lungs.
Super. Mr. Daniels.
I'm Matt Daniels. I'm an actor and director and teaching artist and musician based here in Milwaukee, and I am directing this production of Lungs.
Fantastic. Yes. Lungs coming up here real shortly. You guys are now in tech. You are in the thick of it. Yes. George, for those who do not know much about Vanguard, can you talk a little bit about the company and your seasons and where you guys are currently at?
Absolutely. So Vanguard started in 2022 as originally simply a self-produced production of All Is Calm, The Christmas Truce of 1914. That quickly became our annual production here at Vanguard. And since then, we've expanded into doing other works as well, and really focused around the mission of producing grounded, contemplative works of theater that grapple with the social and political questions of our time. And so since doing All Is Calm, we've also branched out into doing works such as Antigone. Last fall, we did My Name is Rachel Corrie.
Which was awesome.
Thank you. And so Lungs is our first production in our new season here for our 25-26 season. And so we're really excited to present this show to Milwaukee audiences.
Yes, and I am so excited to see this. I'm a fan of this play. I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do with. I should stop saying you guys. What you all are going to do with this piece of work. Matt, can you talk a little bit about like how you got involved with Vanguard and how you came to have even space in your very busy life for this production?
So George and I met a few years ago at Milwaukee Rep on a production of Titanic, the musical. Very, very different than this play.
Little bit.
Tiny bit. And although I bet, we haven't actually talked about this, but I bet George and I have some crossover at First Stage also, back when he was a young performer there. Back in the early formative days of George Lorimer. Anyway, so we've known each other for a little bit and have done some plays together at the Rep. And he approached me about the possibility of directing for this season and presented me with a couple of scripts. And I fell in love with Lungs immediately. It was new to me, and I just loved it. And it happened to fit into a perfect slot in my season. As you said, I tend to be pretty busy, and this was a nice little opening that all the stars aligned for this one. And boy, am I glad they did, because it's been a really challenging and fascinating thing to work on.
Yeah, you both are very wanted artists in the area, and so to make this collaboration happen seems to be what the universe needed at this time. So kudos to you, George. Can you talk a little bit about the piece itself and the what's the no spoilers, but the basis of the story?
Yeah, so Lungs is a two-person play by Duncan MacMillian, and it's about this couple, one man, one woman, exploring their decision to have children, set against the backdrop of our rapidly warming climate. And so they are exploring their relationship, their hopes, their fears, their insecurities, and the questions of what do they see their future looking like for themselves and the world. And this is a decision that takes place over many, many years as they are working through that choice, but it's set as the single conversation. And so time moves very seamlessly in this show, and it's really, really about the text and these two characters. It's a very, very pared down production and really strips it down to its bare essentials.
Yeah, this is one of those shows that you could go as big or as small as you wanted to. Yes, design wise.
I mean, I think it would be hard to go super big with it. I think that people probably have, but the playwright really asks for it to be minimal.
Right.
There is a pretty severe note from the playwright. First thing, which talks about what he would prefer to not have as part of the play, and which sets a lot of challenges. That's a ton of challenges. I mean, it's he wants it to be really just the actors and the text, and that's because of the way that the story is told. It's really just a single conversation that happens over the course of these characters' entire lives. And so it spans a long time. And his vision of it is to allow the actors to have fluidity and mobility, and to be able to, sort of nimbly jump from time to time and still have the same conversation going on. So it's been a real challenge to approach in that way, but I have really, really loved working on it like that.
Yeah, George, can you talk a little bit about a two-hander and what that process is like, and the challenges of spending the challenges and joys of spending your time with just one other person on stage, and that is your support system and the fighting partner, what can you talk about that?
Yeah, so working on a two-hander or a two-person play is a really challenging but also really, really rewarding process, in that, essentially we are both on stage for the entirety of the show. There are no breaks. There are no, offstage moments. That really, once the show starts, it is 80 minutes, constant back and forth. And this text really, really moves quickly. Matt talked a lot about how the text is very, very musical, and there are these little interjections. And it is such a great work of contemporary playwriting, in that you catch your character trailing off or doubling back on certain thoughts, or having these little interjections here and there. And so the cue pickups are really, really fast and tight. And when it works, it is just incredible. It feels so beautifully constructive, but when you listen to it, it just sounds seamless. It sounds like we're talking right now. And so that's been wonderful to work with. It's a ton of work in making sure you are just staying in the moment, because if you miss a little cue, then the scene really just falls flat. And so I'm joined by our wonderful co-star, Caroline Hansen. She is new to Milwaukee from Madison, but she is really doing just a fabulous job in this role. And so it is wonderful to play off her and play off all the little nuances and subtleties that she's giving in her part. And what's wonderful, especially about this script, is it feels like no two runs are the same. There's always those little inflections, those little changes that we're looking for. And so it's really exciting. It's really, really invigorating to take on this piece.
Yeah, I love two-hander pieces. I love just watching two actors go back and forth and go through the dramaticness of a wonderful piece to conclusion. I think it's one of the best things about theater. Matt, can you talk about your team and how great it was to work with these two wonderful artists?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Their understudies as well.
Yeah, so on stage we've got George, who is no slouch himself. Is just lovely and open and forthright and fearless on stage, and just has such a great chemistry with Caroline, who is raw and mercurial, and it's just really, really been a joy to watch them work together and to enjoy the trust that they have built together, which is essential for a piece like this, which is very, very intimate and deeply, deeply explores what it means to be in an intimate relationship with somebody else. And so that has been really great. They are understudied by the wonderful Jake Badofsky and Madison Uphoff, who are actually both former students of mine. So that's been really nice to have them in the room. And then we're supported by a great team. We've got Liv Mosseth, who is the stage manager. And then Anti-Shadows is doing lighting and what very, very little scenic there is. And then we've got Amelia Strahan dressing these fine young actors. So it's been a real joy working on this thing in this way. And that's really, I think, it all focuses in on the actors telling this story, and to do it in this way, in this space where we're going to be at Goodman Hall, which is in the Round. And so it feels very intimate. And I think getting to work with all of them in that way has just been, it's been a gift.
If you haven't been to Goodman Hall, you need to go and see this space. It's so intimate and really it looks bigger than it is. I think it's just one of those spaces. I have not seen something there yet that I have not enjoyed. I particularly love things in the Round anyway, so I love that space. But I highly encourage you to go and see this show, first of all. But second of all, if you haven't been to that space, go and see that space and enjoy the experience of being in that space. I was just thinking, is there any sound design?
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for that. Yeah, Elliott Brotherhood is also a former student of mine. It's one of the joys of working in a place for a long time is getting to work alongside my students and go from that student-teacher relationship to peers in the community. And yeah, I just love it. I love that I have the opportunity to do that in so many different ways.
Yeah, and building an ensemble and camaraderie with people that you have worked with and are familiar with is also a really great experience as well. Can each of you give me a reason why you think Milwaukee, theater lovers and maybe people who have never seen a show at all would be a good one to go and see? George?
I think this script feels deeply, deeply relatable. I think for any audience member, this is all about this long-term relationship. And so I think anyone who has been in a long-term relationship, who's been married, who's had kids, thought about kids, will find that these conversations are relatable to life or have happened in their life. I think the playwright Duncan MacMillian has crafted these really incredible characters, and I see bits of myself in both of them, and it is really an unflinching look at this relationship. You see the highs and lows, the good and bad, the ugly and the nasty of it all. And so I think it really dives into the joys and heartbreak that can only come from someone that you know that personally. And so I think every audience member will see those moments, see those conversations that they've had in their own lives there, and see it reflected on stage in such an intimate setting. We are in the Round, and so, there's not a bad seat in the house. Everyone is so close to it, and you'll catch so much of this relationship there that I think everyone will find a moment or a conversation or a line that's going to resonate with them.
Right on. Matt?
I think that this play, the way that it is written and the way that we have put it on stage is a great reminder of the power of live theater. And I truly think that is so. I mean, it is... it's two people and the words and the audience. And it's basically that. And it is a reminder of, how we started all of this by sitting around the campfire, telling stories, coming out of the cave, all of that stuff. And by having it be in the round at Goodman, it is an even closer reminder of those campfire stories. You can see the other people taking in the story around you. It is impossible to pretend like we are not telling this story together. It is impossible not to openly sign the contract, which says, I'm going to willingly suspend my disbelief to get lost in this story. And you don't get that anywhere else. You just don't get it anywhere else. And with this style of play where everything is laid so bare, there's nothing there except for the actors and the words. And all that does is pull out of us the shared experience of being alive. You can't get lost or hide in anything else. It's just that. And I think that in the end, that's what theater is. That's why we need it. I think it's why the generations that are coming up right now are trying to get back to more analog things, this digital world. I mean, here we are doing a podcast digitally, but I think that this digital world is it's a stressor on us. And I think that going to the theater is a way to release that, even if the play, like this one, is intense. It is also very funny, and you see yourself in it, and you all realize that we're just breathing the same air together.
Excellent. I will say that this digital platform show is asking people to go to an analog storytelling experience. I am threading the needle here.
That's right.
Threading the needle.
You're doing it very well.
Just before we go, because I would be remiss if I did not touch on. Can we just give a little shout out to independent theater, because George, you started this baby with your own brain and will and sense of a need to create, because that's what we do as artists, and we're often told to make work for ourselves if we're not having access to things. And so I just want to give a little applause to Milwaukee Independent Theater. Can you just real briefly talk about that experience of being a producer and an artist I don't like the word small, but we are small, tiny, smaller teams.
Yeah. I mean, I started this right after my apprenticeship with Milwaukee Rep. Was looking at a season that was pretty open, and I had a lot of time on my hands, and so producing became sort of this passion project of mine, and also a way to get myself on stage. I'm a big believer in the do-it-yourself mindset. And one thing I really did not expect from that was just how generous the Milwaukee theater community is. We are in a sort of smaller, I guess, mid-tier market in Milwaukee, but there were so many people who came out of the woodwork to help us out with giving us shout outs or helping out with the show or giving advice, little things like that, that we would not be here without. And so, things like the Milwaukee Theatre Alliance, the other small companies here in town who are willing to lend a hand and put the ladder down for other producers coming up in the community is why we are here today, 3 years later. And so, as an artist, I think it's been very empowering to work as a producer as well. That being an actor so much is nonlinear. It is throwing out auditions, getting mostly no's, taking what you can get. Whereas being a producer is all about, it's a lot of work and it's planning way, way, way in advance. But every morning I can write myself a little checklist and send my emails and make my calls and go to meetings and make small incremental progress towards a goal. And so I really love that in the way that I think they balance each other out in a way that I have one side of my life that is very, very non-deterministic and very open. You throw out auditions and you get some really lovely jobs here and there, and you see some wonderful surprises in this industry. And then producing is very step by step. It's small incremental goals over a long period of time to work through this final project, which is also incredibly rewarding. And so I think for me, there's a really lovely balance between the two of those.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that. Matt, as somebody who has worked all over the place in, large markets and small markets, can you say what things you feel are the best things about working for independent small companies?
Yeah, so I think that we always end up like trying to compare a independent small company to a big company with all the money in the world, and I think that really what it comes down to is the people that you're working with. And here in this market, a lot of us tend to go between both of those worlds.
Sure.
George is a perfect example of that, and so it is that, and as George mentioned, those people are just great people here in Wisconsin, regardless. I really like the do-it-yourself aesthetic as far as how it ends up creating work. There is, for me, just my personal aesthetic, I really like something to feel handmade, hand-wrought. I think that the people of Milwaukee really like that too. I actually think that is a big part of what makes this city what it is. I think that things being handmade is part of the city's legacy. And so I really like that. And I think that being in this, quote unquote, smaller environment lends itself to that. I'm reminded of a quote from that Tennessee Williams wrote in the foreword to his play Camino Real, which is a real fever dream of a play.
Yes.
And the quote that I come back to all the time, which again is just in the foreword, it's not in the play itself, is freedom is not achieved simply by working freely. And I think that we think that if you have all this money, you can do anything you want. And when you have the restraints of having very little, it actually fosters and encourages imagination, and it makes us better artists. And by making us better artists, it makes the audience's experience better because our imagination sparks their imagination, and that just continues to build. And so I love that sort of thing. I love seeing the strings. I love seeing all of the things that come together to make the piece. That's not to say that like some huge splashy thing with spectacle isn't beautiful and awesome and gorgeous, and you can't have
also needed. Yes,
of course you can. But I think that there's something that this style of intimate, laid bare, unblinking theater can get for an audience, and I'm all about that.
Hear, 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 my friend. So, well, now that people have heard how awesome and amazing Vanguard is and how epic this show is going to be, George, where can they go to get their tickets?
Yes, absolutely. Please check out our website. That is vanguardmke.com. We are running September 19th. Through the 28th at the Goodman Main Stage Hall at Milwaukee Arts Center. We've got $30 general admission tickets as well as $10 student artist tickets available at the door for every performance. We're playing 9 performances only at the Goodman, and we'd love to see you there.
We would. I will be there. Will you be there? I will be there. Thank you so much, you two, for taking the time out of your busy schedule with tech and all that is going on in your life to visit us here at the You've Got a Thing. And I hope you have a great first day of tech. Yes, today, and
it goes today.
And nobody gets mad, and it's all sunshine and roses. Yes, all the fingers crossing. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a great day.
You too.
There you go. There you have it. What's some great peoples there, yeah? Matt Daniels and George Lorimer, just two wonderfully talented artists here in Milwaukee, doing wonderful work. As I said, they're really in demand. Those two, they really have a real vibrance about, each of them has a vibrance about them that is easily watchable on stage, and word has it they're also very just great and super fun to work with, so that's also great. But that's what we got for today. So there, that's it. That's what I got for today. So that's season 4, episode 1 of You've Got a Thing, and hear from the Milwaukee Theatre Alliance, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things. And I hope you join us next week when we talk to Milwaukee Chamber Theater. Wonderful company here in Milwaukee. I think they just put up 60 years or some crazy number like that they've been around. So I'll be happy to talk to them. But you try and have yourself a good week. I know that things are not the most awesome out there for a lot of people. Again, if you're having a crisis and you need somebody to talk to, text that 988 number for the suicide and crisis lifeline, and or just reach out to a friend. You can reach out to us here at the Milwaukee Theatre Alliance. We have a lot of individuals have a lot of experience with listening and hearing people under stress. We will connect you to the people that you need to get connected to. So that's it. I do just hope you have a great week, because it is a challenge out there. So I'm sending all my goodness to you, that you have that great week. And I will see you next week back here on You've Got a Thing, or some kind of theme song or something that was more like 90s kind of family show theme song. Well, whatever. Okay. All right. That's it. Okay. Bye.